The Retirement Halftime Show. Maintain your lead in retirement.
You're watching the Retirement Halftime Show. I am your host, Alexander Joyce, and of course with us is co-host Alex Clark.
Thanks, Alex. Let's jump into your book today.
Sure.
My favorite chapter, personally, number 6, Wake Up That Lazy Money.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Can you elaborate on that for us?
I can. And you know what's interesting about that chapter? That came from a client.
Really?
Did you know that?
No, I wasn't aware.
We've been talking about that for quite some time. And in the book, really, the overall book has just been a labor of love. And you're right. So that one always makes people laugh. Wake up that lazy money. So what is lazy money, right? The first thing about understanding that you have lazy money is it can be titled as money you're not doing anything with. Money that could have been from a sale of a piece of property that's just sitting in cash that is getting eaten up and eroded by inflation. Okay. Money that has been sitting on the sidelines from let's say 5 years ago when you thought that the market was going to have a terrible downturn and you've been waiting for equities to go on sale, and here we are 5 years later and we're at an all-time high at 27,000 in the Dow, right? Lazy money could be simply the portfolio that you have that you've been hoping and waiting would turn around because it was something you had created or something a planner had done 10, 15, 20 years ago, and that planner had retired, or maybe that fund is not being managed, and you're just kind of waiting to see or thinking about what you should be doing.
Okay.
Right? It could be considered lots of things, but my favorite way for people to understand what lazy money is the simple concept of inflation erosion. And we call that going broke safely, right? So it could be a CD that you're getting 1% in, inflation's at 3%, and you're losing 2%. And most people would say, yeah, I'm losing 2%, but I'm going broke safely.
Yeah. Or the money market.
Or the money market, or the interest-bearing account that you're just kind of hoping and waiting that interest rates would go up. Sure. And they're not, right? So I think that those are, the book, what the book does is it gives a list, right? And it kind of breaks down examples of each version of what we consider to be lazy money. And so I think it's more of a fun chapter. Yeah. They're takeaways for people that have just retired, and this is very common for them to be very conservative. Okay. And we just want them to know that a loss is a loss, and lazy money is lazy money.
Yeah. So it would be safe to say maybe that we would classify that as sideline money.
I think that when you think of sideline money, that it's hard because when people start to develop cash, and older people do this a lot. We have clients in their 80s, we have clients in their 50s, we have clients in their 40s, we have clients in their 70s, right? We have grandparents, we have parents, we have sons, we have daughters, right? We help a lot of people. And the fact is, with sideline money and with older sideline money, we start to we consider, what happens to be lazy money with sideline money. I think the age has a lot to do with that, because there's emergency money, sideline money. That could be considered lazy money, but should you invest it? Yeah. Probably not so much, right? Depending on your age. But then you have the older client that has no reinvestment strategy because they hired their advisor, or they've had their advisor for 30 years. They retired, their advisor retired, and now they have no real strategy for their RMD. There's no RMD planning. Okay. So what happens is they're forced to take required minimum distributions. That money is forced out. It hits the bank account. It starts to grow. It's being eroded by inflation. Next year, it's the same thing. That is lazy money. Okay? That is lazy money.
Makes a lot.
It's a big difference, and I'm happy you asked that, because there's sideline money.
Sure.
These are thoughts from my next chapter in the book, right? So sideline money and lazy money, and the two distinct ways that could be classified. So I'm happy to include the differences. Sure.
So if somebody wanted to get their hands on the book and read about the lazy money or the sideline money, or any of the other stuff in there, the Social Security or the color of money risk analysis, how would they get their hands on this?
Sure. I mean, the first place they can go, Alex, is they can go to Amazon, right? I mean, one of the first places that people start to shop these days with technology being the way that it is, they can come to one of our educational events and they can get a book there. We can mail them one. They can go to our website, right? There's a drop down to request a book. We have no reason doing it that way. When they go about it, in a way where they're coming to one of our events or contacting us direct. Of course, there's no fees associated with that. Okay. For us, that's just a way that they're taking the next step, right, to either get a professional opinion, get a second opinion, or, you know what, sticking out their hand and saying, you know what, we're ready to take the next step in the process. And that's what this is about.
That's great. So folks, if you got any questions, please don't hesitate to call. We're here for you. We'll be back after this.
The Retirement Halftime Show. Maintain your lead in retirement.
I'm Alexander Joyce, President and CEO of ReJoyce Financial. If you're in retirement or near retirement, with all life's changes, it never hurts to get a second opinion. Managing expectations is the foundation of a prosperous relationship. Our goal is simple. We want to get to know you. So pick up the phone and make an appointment for a complimentary visit. There is no cost, no obligation. We simply want to get to know you and see if we can add value to your life in retirement. We can discuss topics like income planning, sequence of return risk, taxes, and estate planning, Social Security maximization, and much more. Let us help you develop strategies that can develop a successful retirement. If you want to know more about successful retirement strategies, then call now, schedule a visit, and let us help you rejoice in your retirement.